man, it's been a while since I've seen my face on this computer thing. So it's kind of weird. It's been a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I missed it.
Yeah. We've been busy. You've been super busy.
No sleep, lost my voice hurt so bad. I asked Dave, it was Sunday. My throat hurt really bad. I went to take my pills. I can take pills like 2 or 3 at a time. Yes, that sounds extreme. I got like it's energy G and C vitamins. I usually can take 2 at a time, right? I went to take 2 at a time Sunday and I got choked and the pill got stuck in my throat and I had to like regurgitate it out of my throat because I was choking. And I never had that happen. And I asked Dave and he goes, because your throat is swelled up from all that screaming and I had released all that pain. And Tony Robbins, by the way, interesting fact, you know how he screams all the time? You know how he has like a raspy voice?
Yeah.
He went to the doctor for his voice, his voice box, and they said there is nothing left. It's real thin. And they don't know how his body compensated. They don't know how he's talking. They've never seen somebody. So his body compensated for not having a voice. So basically he's going on very thin.
It's crazy because he's a screamer, man.
He is, but they said his voice compensated for the thin layer. So it's like gone. And my throat hurt so bad. And I'm thinking, oh my God, no wonder this was one day of screaming.
I choked on a pill Saturday too.
So there you go.
That's really weird. Like I did that Saturday also. I like went to take a pill and it's like the water didn't touch it or something. And it was just like stuck in my throat. And like
it was, and everybody's in the bathroom. I'm doing this by myself. And so I hear, okay, let's go, Michelle, just go regurgitate it out. And I'm like, I need it. He goes, you can choke. Or we go, just regurgitate it out. You don't need it evidently. And I'm like, never happens. I've just like one pill at a time. And I'm like, I don't like this. I don't know if it's still swelled. I don't even want to risk it. So
yeah, it's wild.
And so what's the next symptoms in that?
Yeah, that's super weird. But I guess it's also not super weird because they always say we're the same energy. It's 2 bodies, which is kind of what this whole thing is about today. About what are they all talking about when Loki and Markus, who's Krishna, and when they say that we're the priestess, what does that mean? So we're going to talk about kind of the origin of this stuff. Loki will talk about his priestess, and then Markus will talk about the love of his life, Radha, and then Shiva will be channeled, and he will discuss Parvati. And this is the first time we've ever channeled Shiva because, like I said in one of our previous ones, he's always in meditation. Anytime I've gone to visit him, he's always in meditation. So I just sit next to him and he's like a giant. He's like a giant being. So I just sit next to him like, oh, Shiva. He's got such a weird, his energy is just so different. And Markus, I think it was Markus said that although he's like sitting there, he's still kind of watching you. And I could always kind of sense that he does like peek anyway. And he's like, haha, like I see you, but I'm not going to say anything, priestess. Like it's just got that vibe.
Well, and this is Loki. This is what he's doing. He'll look at, he's like that, you know.
I left for a second because Destiny is over here and I wanted to say, hey, Destiny. I wanted to type it out. I don't know why. I guess I could have just spoken it. Destiny. Ay.
And I don't know. It's been a long.
It has. It's been crazy. Hey, dude. Even Cleo saying hi, Destiny. Yeah, so that's what we're going to talk about today. And I'm super excited again because like this is kind of a big deal. We get to see Shiva again. That's awesome. Yay.
And this is Michelle. And I had to, in order to do that, I had to get myself in a high vibration and they were telling me how to do it. And Trevor never wakes up early. It's like this is his day off, never wakes up early. Wakes up early, comes in right before my priming to talk. And so I could feel Shiva coming forth, getting pissed off. And so he goes, I could hear him and Loki through Loki. And Trevor this isn't the energy Trevor got. And I will give Trevor's reaction. So it comes forth and he goes, answer all questions after this live. Do not sit there and make me mad beforehand. And Trevor just went ice cold, sad, backed out. He like backed out of the room. Okay. So then Laura, the same thing. I'm walking in here. She's sitting in the living room and she's like, oh, mom, do. And again, all questions answered after live. We're not doing this beforehand. How? I thought Loki had authority. Nope.
Yeah, there's something about it. Like, you just know. No, you just know.
And I could feel it. And I'm thinking, he says, you will not rob your mom and my priestess of this stuff here. And I'm like, and I could feel like I was here, but I felt it. And I'm like, okay. And I'm like, what? No, apologize. And I hear him say, don't apologize. Do not apologize. And you just make me look, don't apologize. And I'm like, I will not apologize. He said, Parvati does not apologize. And I'm like, all right.
I would like to add something weird. So when I worked at P&G, there was a guy that was in our group. He was a computer programmer too. And he was from India, right? And so we would talk about stuff a lot. And one day he said that his God was behind me. And I was like, I hope he's nice because I didn't know. And he was like, Angie, like he's like the God. And he was like, I haven't seen him on like An American Girl. Like they're told like American girls are like all wicked, and he had never seen him with An American Girl, and he just didn't understand what he was seeing, and I didn't understand what he was saying. So I was like, okay. But later in life, this has all made sense of what he saw and why he was telling me that, because he was very drawn to me, and it didn't make sense because he didn't talk to a lot of people. He kept to himself, but there was something about me, and it was Shiva. He saw Shiva, he knew, and Krishna, because I remember him saying both of these names, but I just didn't know that much about them, but that they were with us. And Destiny said, hey, Cleo puppets. It was a typo. She meant puppers, but I thought Cleo puppets was really cute.
I like that. I like that.
All right. So are we ready for this? I'm excited.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So I guess let's start with Loki, because he's like the first one that's come out and talk about his priestess. Let's have him come out and talk about his priestess.
Oh, either is Loki. This is Loki. Give myself introduction because we don't have Cosmo here anymore. Yeah. So, and that will be helpful to, well, not really, because now he's over here. So,
yeah. So Cosmo is just over here now because Michelle evolved with Tony Robbins and allowed Cosmo to evolve through the whole Tony Robbins thing too. So now his shadows are cleared and he's just over here, which explains why I felt him so strongly on Sunday. So let's congratulate Cosmo for working on his shit, because I'm very proud of him. And he still wants to hit on Destiny, but I do have a little bit more of a filter for it. But no, Destiny, he wants to do things. I apologize. I hope that they don't come out of my mouth, but I'm sure it's the way that they will.
Yeah, this is Loki. Yeah, he does. We can hear him, but we can't. He's not here no more. And the things he would think about her and tell me after everything, we can't tell Destiny. And I'm like, wow, he said the things I would do. And I'm like, you need to just chill, man. Yes. I get it, but chill it out a bit, Yes. So like, come on. Plus Raku Raku's pissed at the rest of us because of him.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Raku's nice, but it's like
he had a van in this life, and he's talked about stuff he'd do in this van. I guess he'd go pick you up to the city.
No, that's what I'm getting. Oh, okay.
No, I'm trying to some guy in a blue van. No, this is Cosmo coming for you to fulfill some sort of dream.
You can, she might even, he says he's been popping in her dreams.
Oh, I bet he has.
Yeah, I bet so. Yeah, I bet she's seen him in the dreams, but not, because he says he's been showing up, and she, tells him to get out because it's she doesn't know who it is at the moment. Yeah, so she gets like because that's what I'm feeling, because that's what I can hear him say it, like she's been kicking him out. Yeah, she says boundaries, and kicks him out, as rightfully so.
He don't have boundaries.
He does not have boundaries. He said he's going to wear her down like Markus did him. I don't know how Markus did that, but not Markus can. But I guess we want to talk about the priestess and why I call you priestess.
Yes.
So it all starts here. Well, it starts with Shiva, but I will, since I was the first to come out, I will just go ahead. So the way I call you priestess is it has to be earned. A priest does not just settle on any woman and say, this woman here, I would die for her. All right. It doesn't work like that. Lives. It's not one life, by the way. And in the Atlantean, it started in Atlantis, by the way. And this is ancient Atlantis, planet 1, by the way, if we want to get really technical, planet 1, Atlantis. And I'm actually older than my priestess.
Okay.
Older. And actually, you guys are older than Destiny, but not by much. Not by much. So she's still a young and to some degree. But not by much. Not by much. So that's what I'm saying. This is smidge, all right?
Smidge.
This is smidge, but so I'm much older than the priestess. So I'm going to. So the reason this is priestess. So when I first met the priestess, you want to hear the story how I really met you the first time?
Yes, please.
First time. And this is not now. Shiva met Parvati a whole different way, but this is my account of how I met my priestess. Now, each of us will have our different ways we met, but this is the first time. So when in Atlantis, you got to remember there's different parts of Atlantis, like there's different parts in your realm. Like you know, you could go to a different realm and there'd be a different part. You know, you might show up and you've got purple eyes and you don't speak, but you're still society, but you can hear thoughts. So that's, but just you're still in this particular realm, okay, multiverse. Before I tell this, okay, so now this is when you and Michelle were one. This is when you were one, okay? And Destiny, by the way, was in this. So this was you, Michelle, Destiny, and Lauren, your cousin Lauren. So all 4 of you were one, okay? But that tells you, why are you 4 different right now? Because you've expanded to your own and wanted to learn each one to learn her own things. And as the priest, I will let my priestess grow and evolve however she needs to be in a whole new body, a different body. And Raku became her priest to keep her like that, if that makes sense. She went off her direction and all of like that, okay? But you remain, but my priestess stayed with me while Destiny went over here. She's not my priestess. It just means I'm like secondary, the third to Raku, okay? So, but if Destiny has any questions, I'll answer.
Actually, yes. She has, do you have only one priestess forever and vice versa? Okay,
well, perfect. Well, I'm glad I just spoke. Okay, so I have the same priestess forever and ever. I met my priestess, it was it. Raku met you, Destiny, and that was it. I was the priest. When you were with the 4, like that, I was the number 1 priest. You wanted to break away and discover your own things, but you didn't like the way I was doing anything. And I will always give the priestess her option. She can stay with me, or she can go to another priest, but I have to make sure he's going to do exactly what I'm going to do, and I have to approve it. If I don't approve of his nature, I will say no. Raku came up. I loved Raku. I loved his energy, and therefore I gave him permission. It's very hard. I'm still secondary. Now, that's why I will come around and guide, but I will never push Raku. But if I feel Raku was disrespecting you in any way, Destiny, I would come forth and correct it, which I have done mass times. Because you're still my priestess, I'm just secondary, kind of overlooking. Okay, he's like, he's boss, and I'm just kind of observing. And if I feel he's doing, I will say something. So yes, once a priestess, always a priestess to the priest. I'm just right now secondary because you, and I honor that you wanted the whole difference, and I got that. But that's why I'm still protective over you. But Raku knows, that he better not tip me because that's not good. He knows. Yeah, for real. He knows not, because I love my priestess. So this is the first time I met my priestess when you're all 4, and there was a ritual being done. Now you were my priestess, her name was Maida. Her name is Maida. And she was very young, and she was a younger sister to an older sister. And it was 12 women trying to have sex with the different deities. One would choose Odin and have sex with Odin. And what that is doing is granting fertility, creativity, Plus, it's and it might create some kind of immortality to the priestess, the energy to this particular woman asking to have sex. And you ask, well, how does that work? Well, it's an energetic exchange. They wouldn't physically come down. It would just be an energetic, but the God himself could choose to come down and do it. Okay. Well, nobody would ever call on me, ever, because it was a joke. But Maida thought Loki would be great. And she grew up wanting to just with Loki, something about him just excited her because she heard it. And because I'd come to her, I'd seen her, and she's beautiful. They were mistreating her. She was misunderstood. They made fun of her. They'd hit her. They would make fun of her. They tied her to trees. They weren't very nice to her. So she wanted to follow her older sister. Mom, dad did not. They were gone. So she had to depend on her older sister. Older sister said, hey, she likes Loki. Well, let's sit there and have her have sex with Loki because she's so weird. Let's just do it. And he'll kill her. Because according to everybody, I was going to kill whoever I had sex with. And it was like an omen, and I was going to curse you if I came down to have sex with you, right? By that point, I was mean. I was not very good. And I was honestly not impressed with Maida. I wasn't, because I'm thinking, well, you're scared. And I could hear her influence, like, oh yeah, Loki's a prick, yeah, Loki, whatever, It's like, okay, bitch, all right, let's see how you call on me, see what happens. And apologetic, that's what I was feeling, so I'm not going to hold it back here, what I felt. So they said, she wants to join, have her call on me. Let her call, okay, sure. So I am like, oh, she's going to call on me, good. So I heard her go, she's scared and she's a virgin. So what would they do? She was a virgin. They knew, so every time you were going to go to a god, you were a virgin. Because the god wouldn't come to you if you were not a virgin. If you weren't, that did not even appeal to you. Don't even come to him. She was a young virgin, and so I was like, okay. So they tied her up to a tree, which they never did. But for her, they were just being vicious. They tied her to a tree, and they just assumed I would kill Maida. They just assumed I was going to kill you. I was just going to kill Maida. And I'm saying it like this so I don't have to say it fuller, because I can't. So that's why I'm saying it like this. So I go, so she's freaking out. They tie her down. They expect me to come down, rape her, kill her, and that's it. And they're rid of Maida. They don't have to deal with her anymore. They do the ritual. They call on me, right? And by that point, she's tied to a tree. She's freaked out, and she's a virgin. Right to me, yeah, I guess she's a virgin, but I felt bad for her. Because I went from hate to, I actually came down when I could. I came down, I seen her, and she's naked, she's afraid, she's shaken, and I knew this was wrong. So I took it upon myself to kill the rest of them. I killed all of them. She heard screams, came back, and I took her, and I didn't touch her. I didn't touch my priestess. I took her to a different realm, and I kept her protected. Now, when I say that, I just took her out of that particular life. So basically, she would close her eyes and do a different life. She proved herself that she proved herself that she was going to she was ready for anything with me. And that took a lot on her part. She was ready for anything with me. And I was prepared, okay. But there's something within me took a back to her. So that was number one. And I didn't understand first what was happening with that. And so different lives, she would protect me, and it was being tested. And what the other one, her husband said, you better call on her and haunt her. That is our God. She says, I will call on Loki, and that is it. And they killed her in the fire. And I watched it. But she died saying, I will go with Loki. I will refuse this. Dies. And she died like 4 or 5 different lives. So by the time this Atlantis, she finds me, and we recognize one another. And we had my mom. My mom was the one that said, you're going to find the woman that has died for you in every life that loves you. That's your priestess. That's it. And there was Markus. And that's what happened. That's how Markus, because as well, she would die for Krishna. She would have died for Krishna. And as well, there's lives where she was dying for Krishna as well. Like, I will live upon Krishna's word and die. Markus met her differently than how I met her. But she would die, So there was Krishna, but then there's Markus. You got to remember, it was Markus. So she was dying. So they just took care of it. So our mom just said, that's your priestess. Only mother, we just clicked. And you got to remember, on all these lives, I never laid a hand on her sexually. Never. Because it was never about that. Ever. So if you think of priest, so I say priestess games, and I'm like, ha, ha, ha. I have such high respect for my priestess. It's not about that. It's never about that. It's the emotional connection. It's the love. It's the protection. I will do anything for my priestess. Anything. She died for me. She proved to me she will die for me. And these were bad ways she died for me. Died in my name. And I go, you know what? You know, when I met her, I seen it again, and they were coming at her again, you know. And she said, and she was standing in front of me. They called it omnipresent priestess, which is very rare. She in front of me and she said, I will die for him without anything. She barely knew me. She said, I will die for him. Don't you even come to. And these were people going to kill her. She showed no fear. She was afraid, but she was showing it. She was like, do it afraid. Like Joyce Meyer said, she was like, not going to deal with it, and just in front of me. And I knew, and it just made me like, oh my God, she's going to die for me. And then I realized, my mom said that's called omnipresent priestess, which is rare, meaning she will die for you. She died for you in every life, she'll do it again. So I would die for my priestess. I would, and I have died to show her I would die for you. Markus has died for his priestess. We both died so she would see. Meku is new. We will explain him Thursday. He would die for her in mass lives as well, to show, because he's an aspect of me, but we show her we love her, we would die for her, and she died for me. So that's a priestess. It's a man's ultimate respect to this woman that he loves more than anything. It's not about sex. It's an emotional bond that cannot be broken. And I did a bond with her, with my priestess. In Atlantis, you would put your hand to her hand like that, a blue glow, and it would light up blue, and that's the bond for the rest of every life, every planet, anything. It doesn't matter. That was for your forever priestess, forever. And that is what it means for me, for my priestess. That's what it means. It's the ultimate love. You can't describe. It's better than twin flame. It's better than any soul connection. You become one with her. Like you would do anything. When she hurts, you hurt. When she hurts, you make it better for her. You do whatever. You give her rules, and basically she'll do anything for you. But you show her you're worth that. You will protect her with your own life. And I wouldn't treat her like a slave. She had rules. She had rules. But I mean, when I say rules, be more boundaries, because it was to protect her, to teach her. But in turn, I would teach her, but she would teach me. That's and that is what it means by that. Basically, I will do anything for her. And like channeling, that's part of the whole bond of the Atlantis is this. I can't be with you physically. I will be here like this. So don't ever, so it's always like she asked me, she said, if I'm not in a life with you, how does this work? And I showed her, I went to a different realm and I showed her how it works. She felt me immediately and she's, oh, this feels weird. This feels all funky. She's like, what is this? And it was me showing her, I did not leave you. I don't leave. I will come forth. I said, proof you have a man's body because it would be easier for me, but I get a woman's body. I understand. I showed her I don't leave. This is my ultimate love for my priestess. That's what that means.
I have a quick question. So like the one that had sex with Odin, so now is Odin with that one forever?
Okay, so how that works is Odin was a sexual fiend. So what they do, they call him Odin, they call him Thor, Hermes, whichever one they thought would just give them. And they never called on me because I was the trickster. Right. I would offer them nothing but hate. What all they're doing was the energy would come down, they would be like a sexual interaction. It just meant Odin picked her to be the whore. No disrespect. She was basically Odin's prostitute.
Okay.
Basically, it was when he wanted it, she had to give that. But he would do special favors for her. Like she would say, my sister over here is talking about her, called the sisterhood. She's messing with me. Odin, can you strike her down? There she's down. Well, and then she was like, why'd you do that? Well, you were making me mad, so Odin took care of it. That Odin didn't own her. Okay. Because she didn't earn his respect as a priestess.
Gotcha. So there's Odin
Odin never took priestesses. Okay. He has one. He never ever took a priestess. He slept around. He was very good at that, but he never. But Thor the same way with Thor, the same way. But I was the one they were just all scared of.
Yeah.
And you got to remember, it was different. It was like if you had to compare the lives. It was like 1,000, 2,000 years before you were my priestess.
Wow.
It was many, it's not just quick 5 years. It was 2,000, 3,000 years.
Yeah. So there's a lot of devotion. There's a lot of time. There's okay. That makes sense.
Yeah, a lot of love and devotion. So when I say priestess, I'm saying when I call you my priestess, if you heard the song from George Michael, which it describes it perfectly, it's called Father Figure. I'm your brother, father, everything. That's exactly what we tell the priestess. We tell her, I am everything to you now. I mean, father, I'm your brother, I'm everything. You call on me before anybody because I'm going to love you more than anybody. And you trust me more to the point she would trust, you would trust, the priestess trusts me more than her own family. If I say don't talk to your family, she wouldn't talk to her family. If it hurt her, she would take it within, but I knew something she didn't know, she wasn't seeing. She took it to part because the priest was never wrong, because he was looking out for her, and he would see something, she would trust it, because he never ever he would always show her the right way, because it was always good for her. And he didn't sit there and for his own ego. He never would do that because he loved her so much. He would never steer her wrong. But yet she would, if she felt something was wrong with him, she'd have to bow before him and tell him. I know that sounds, but she would say, and he would listen and take it into account, because he knew she would never lie to him. If she felt something was a little fishy coming, like she came to me in a life and said, I feel this guy, one of your brothers, is coming after you, and no disrespect, you trust him, but I think he's going to come after you, and we need to hide. And we take the kids and hide. I took it into respect, and we hid, and that's exactly what he was planning. So that works both ways.
Yeah, that's awesome. Perfect. That was wonderful. Thank you.
Well, you're very welcome. And I hope that helps you understand, that's, from my point of view, what it means.
Yeah, absolutely. If anybody has any questions, let me know. I think it was great. And you've kind of told me that story before, but less detail. So it was nice to hear more detail to this story. Perfect.
Well, and I'm glad, because you needed to hear that.
Yeah, I did. I'm excited for Michelle to hear it.
And the collars that you wear, the red and the black, those are my collars.
Oh, heck yeah. Well, then that's why, right?
Yeah, I had my what I wore was, it looked like a kilt. It wasn't a kilt, but that would be like a kilt, but it was all black and red, and that was my collars. And she would match the collars of me. She would wear a red top and the black to represent she was with me. No, you wearing that is wonderful. And I had a little bit of white. The white would represent Markus, because he would have a little bit of white to represent just a little bit of a difference.
Perfect. And I've got the Krishna thing that Trevor made. I've got it on today.
This is Markus. I love that. I love
that. Destiny said, ooh, my Lanny is drawn to red and black and incredibly interested in Norse mythology. Interesting. Okay. I don't know what a Lanny is. So I don't understand. Maybe a kid. Maybe you have a kid drawn to red and black. I don't know. I don't know what a Lanny is. You're gonna have to clue me in.
Yes.
Landon. Yep. Aha! It was a kid. Huh. That's cool.
Well, this is Loki. Well, you have to remember, Destiny, that aspects go all over the place. He's an aspect.
Yeah. Wow.
He would be an aspect, and he has all of the personality. So of course he's going to like the collars. Those are Dylan's collars. He loves those collars. Well, he's an aspect of me, so of course he's going to love those collars.
Yeah.
Of course, he's protecting his mama, and the other one's protecting his mama. So yes, very protectors. So it's not a surprise at all.
It's perfect.
Yeah. Beautiful. I love that.
I do too. Perfect. All right. So Markus, do you want to tell us about your meeting of the priestess? Let's hear your story.
Well, on which version? Me as Markus or as Krishna?
As Krishna.
Oh, perfect then. Well, this will be the first time we're grabbing Krishna, because usually I'm Markus, so we'll get Krishna. See him right now. We're going to pause now. We're going to come over here. Priestess needs you. Yeah, Radha needs you. Yes, it's important. So you need to cut the books right now. Come on. All right, I got him.
All right.
So if he says anything about teaching, right? Yeah, now you're going to hear it now quickly. You're going to hear a priest talk to his priestess in a scolding way. So just wait for it.
Okay.
So no offense, he's going to be a little ticked here. Okay.
Yeah.
Even though he's happening, it's always right. Hey, I'm in the middle of teaching. So is this very important? This is important because you know that when your priest is working over here, that.
Well, we wanted to have our followers hear how we met.
Oh, okay. I'm humbly sorry, my priestess. I'm just making sure that I know you would never disturb me if it wasn't important, and I know that our followers are very important. Whatever. So your followers, let me before I start. So when you say followers, are like how my followers are when they are listening to my message. Is that what we're saying? So they're just
we
not
have open ears. Yep, we have open ears and open hearts here to listen to our message.
Okay, so you're just doing it. Okay, I understand. Okay. So what am I doing?
I wanted to. So we're talking about how each aspect met the priestess and what it means to be a priest and a priestess.
Oh, perfect. Oh, well, mine was beautiful. Well, my aspect Markus, loved her so much that part of me came back because I just loved my priestess. But myself, I knew my teachings was better, you know. So the illusion is when I was here, I had humble beginnings. They weren't pleasing. I wasn't very loved, and I did not get that attention. I knew there was something bigger that I supposed to do. I would hear a most beautiful voice that would cure me of my sadness. I would always have a vision of a beautiful lady. I thought it was Mother Mary. I didn't know who she was. I just knew she was so beautiful. And she had healing hands, and she would in an astral state, which I didn't know that was when I was a child. I maybe was 6, 7, and then not astral. I didn't have nobody to ask. I didn't know. I would get abused. I don't want to talk about, because I don't want to go back to that. Right. But I was getting abused. Abuse can be whatever. It's just not. And I would often cry because I didn't know what was happening to me. I thought I was doing something wrong. And I would hear this lady, she would take my hands and like she would engulf my hands. And she said, "You're here for so much more, but you just got to hold on. These are lessons that you must endure. You just don't remember." I thought it was Mother Mary because I knew of her. I heard all about her. My mom would have the pendant of Mother Mary. So I just assumed it. I know I never told her my vision of that got me hurt. I kept it very quiet. I hear a lot of the humans say that I had a teacher that taught me these things. I had a physical teacher that taught me. And they said I had like a guru teacher. I did not have a teacher. So whoever said I had a teacher was not correct. I didn't. The only teacher I had was the most divine. That was my teacher. I did not have no guru. I did not have no man that came to me and said, "I will teach you Krishna." I had none of that. I just knew I was destined for something much better. But so I will fast forward. I was abused. I left. I started. I would hear this woman tell me to do these things. She said, "I love when you play music," and I couldn't do. I thought I was just so idiot. And I had a flute. I took all of my earnings that I got, and I got the flute. And I was like 11. I got the flute, and it seemed natural for me to have this flute. And I would play it. I felt lifted, I'd feel this love and I'd feel her. And I didn't know who she is, mind you. I don't know. And I would hear, I feel it could have been, it was just the most loving, divine. And I felt when I would play that I'm entering heaven, when I hear that I was entering heaven, which made me want to play even more and more and more to help to connect. Then I thought, if I can feel like that, and there's so many others around me that can't feel that way, then how about I make people feel that way? I know when I feel like that, I can do anything. And she said, I hear her again, and she said, then spread that love to everybody else. Why are you keeping it to yourself? And I thought, I'm in the wrong place. And I said, why if I move? And she said, you're destined to be something greater than this. And I said, you're right. I am much better than this. I didn't leave. I left in the night because I would have been stopped. I traveled. Nobody wanted to hear me play because it was not heard in the days. I was supposed to be working. I was lazy. I was beat up. But I'd still do my thing. I'd work, but I'd play. So finally, kids would love my music. And moms are starting to be able to appreciate the music because when I'm playing, kids are distracted. They can do what they need to do. And then one little boy, he said, my mom really needs this so bad. And I said, well, go grab her and let's say dance. So he grabbed his mom and she started dancing. And that's how it started being. That's when you started seeing this in the happiness, and it was great in the vibration. And then the children said, do you do more than this? Can you do more than this? And I was like, well, yes. And I'm thinking in the back, no, I've never done more than this. So I thought, so I just, I heard her say, tell them where you got the idea from. And I said, well, I say I'm getting it from this energy, this love, this vibration. They're going to think I'm crazy and they're going to beat me. She said, well, do you want to live your truth or you want to go back home? What did you leave? And I said, you're right. It took me, it was fear. Of course, that was your illusion of fear. But I go, you know what? It makes them happy. I cannot back away from that. I don't want them to go back to their lives. I could see myself in these children. I didn't want that. I said, you know what it was? I said, I made it sound like a child. I said, it's this great, beautiful love. And I said, and so I would start touching little hands and I said, what does that feel like? And it feels funny. I said, that's what happens when it hits me. This energy just hits me and it's a vibrating energy. And I said, I do this and I praise and I go, oh, thank you, Rama. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And I go like that, and these kids are like, thank you, Rama. Thank you, thank you, thank you, like that. And I go, yeah, and it's just like a whole thing. Now they're just doing this and they have to play the flute, and we're just doing that. So that's where my teaching started. And then they wanted me to start writing the information. Well, I couldn't write, so I don't know how to write. So, but as the divine love is, find me somebody that would do. Okay. And so my priestess, they asked me, where does she come from? Right. So all of this has happened. Now I'm traveling, I'm walking around these little groups of moms, their husbands, and these children. And I'm providing whatever they need. I don't have much, but whatever I have is theirs. And whatever they have, and where's the community? We work as a community. And I probably had like 50 people following me. So it was like your Jesus walking, but I was doing the same thing. I wanted to do what he did. Some people accepted it, some people didn't. But mostly they would see the happy state. So when I'm in state, I'm playing the flute, and we're going to be, and usually what I'd say, well, we're going to have alcohol after all of this. Of course they're going to come. It's for that. It didn't matter to me. They were getting seeded and planted. It didn't matter to me because they'd end up following me in the end. They knew I'd provide. They were with me now. I'm going to take care of them. I love them. They're going to be brothers and sisters are with me. So I didn't hear the female. It made me a little sad because I loved her. And out of the blue, one of my followers, she says, my sister's here and here. Would you like to meet my sister? She was so much wants to meet you. I'm nervous. And I'm like, oh, sure. But something about us was different. It felt different. I go, yeah. And when she came around, I cried. And I took her hand and I said, Radha. She said, how did you know my name? And I said, will you please tell me you've seen me as much as I've seen you? And she says, oh, you've been since I was, and it's like I seen her like, well, I was 2 or 3. And she said, I've seen you and I've been talking to you. And she said, I go up and I look at the stars. And that's how I talk to her. And she said, we were talking and I go, took my breath away. And I said, I thought you were Mother Mary. Another. And she said, when I started traveling around, she said, I asked for him to bring you to me. How? And she said, and here you are. And she said, so what do we do now? And we're just standing in front of one another. And I said, well, of course we get married because I'm not letting you go. I said, we're getting married. She said, are you worried about my virginity? And I said, and of course she was, but I wouldn't have cared had she not been. And I'm like, and she was promised to somebody else, right? And she goes, what do I do about that? And I'm like, if you love me, just come with me and it'll work out on that end. Same with, she ended up coming with me. Her parents hated me, of course, because this person was going to offer stability. I was not going to offer any of that. But as divine works, Radha ended up with me and we had many children. And she was my priestess like that. We had, and reason that being because Shiva, and you might ask, well, if Loki worked out hard, Shiva and Parvati had worked very hard in different ways. It was kind of like how Loki, but so with me, Krishna, I was just secondary. I was just meeting Parvati again. That's all it was. And it was just, that's all it was. It was just, it was Shiva. That's what it was going on. It doesn't, and because the rest of our lives, she stayed with me. She just, we would teach together. She knew my mind. And we never said, I'd die for you or you die for me. It was just, I put my hand to her hand. And that great love that I felt when I was a child, it got me through everything I felt with her. But I knew it wasn't her. I knew it was coming from here. I was smart enough to know it would inspire others to go love. And I said, we're all one. She's just part of me. I said, she's not separate. We're one. And I would show people that we were just one. I would do that. And I would have people, strangers, touch each other's hands to show that we're all one. I'd have people, like sick people, put their hands to that and feel that, to know that we're one, because we are one. She was never separate from me. But she was my priestess. I always called her my love, my life, my soul, the other parts of me. She would say, my life, my soul is you. When we passed from this incarnation, it was not an arrow that took me. Much to everybody said an arrow took. No, I don't know where that came from, but no arrow took me. Our son told me, Mom's sick and I don't see Mom living very much longer. And I go, okay. So what I did was Destiny at that point was separate and she had Raku. And she was one of the people I handed the information to. I wanted her, she was one of the scribes that wrote the information from the beginning because I couldn't write. So she was a scribe. So it was her and several people were there too. And by the way, with Destiny, I did have a really close soul bond with her too, because she was part of the whole priestess energy. So she understands her role in that too. And Raku was also a student as well. It was my acknowledgement to take care and I trust you. So she understands that. So he said that. And so I wrapped up my affairs and I put my hand on, and I could feel that her heart was dimming and she was trying to tell me goodbye. So we went by a tree and I held her in my arms and I embraced her and I said, I'll find you in the next life. We'll find each other in the next life. I said, wherever that takes us, just know I love you. And I held on to her and I would myself to die when she left. When I say die, it's just leaving that particular reality, illusion, whatever you're going to call, to go to something different, to whatever. But that's how I met. That's why she's my priestess.
That's perfect. Destiny said holy truth bumps with a bunch of hearts. So I know she felt that too. That was beautiful. Thank you for coming to tell us this. I'm sorry that I took you away from your other students, but this was beautiful. And I'm beyond grateful for you coming here and sharing this with us.
I'll do anything for Radha. I'll do anything for you. Many blessings. I'll do anything. I didn't mean When I come out scornful, it's you know how that, So I will go back now and I will just teach. I always offer alcohol and some fruits from that. So be fine.
Yes.
It'll be fine. So greetings.
Thank you, Markus. Thank you, Krishna.
Oh, whoa.
Yeah. Wow.
Crazy.
That
Wow.
was crazy. Like I could see it happening as he was talking about it. Like I could see it happening. Destiny, could you see it happening? That was wild. It was wild.
Wow. I had to rewatch that.
Yeah.
I can feel it. I got goosebumps all over.
Yeah, that's what Destiny said. She put holy truth bumps.
I can feel goosebumps.
Yeah, that was powerful. Woo,
Wow.
beautiful. Wow. No visuals, but full body resonance. Beautiful. Beautiful.
Rewatch this definitely to get what he said. Wow.
That was beautiful. Oh, and it's 1:11. I'm all clammy now. Woo.
I guess that's perfect for Shiva.
Yes.
I'm going to say Shiva's next. I mean, because I can feel him.
Yeah. All right. So let's have Shiva come through and let's talk about Parvati and Shiva. Wow.
Parvati.
Hi, Shiva.
And I feel my other priestess. Where is she? Why do I feel her? I feel her.
Yep, she's here. She's watching. She's listening.
I feel.
Yeah.
I feel the intensity.
Yes. We're all very excited to reconnect with you. Thank you for waking up to come and talk with us today and share how you and Parvati are priest and priestess in this connection that you guys share. I know we all appreciate it. Thank you so much.
I do anything for my priestess. So what do I want to talk about? Because there's so many that I could talk about. I don't want to talk about the legends that I hear Sanguru talk, because some of them are not true.
Okay.
I'm trying to find the most goosebumped I felt. Krishna did that, so I'm finding the one with Parvati that was the best, because there's so many that I could. The first time she became my priestess, I guess, is where we're going.
Okay.
I don't really have a beginning. I can't say I don't have a family. I was just here. I just came out, sky, big ball of energy. I was feared because I'd come out just energy and dance, because that when you are in a state of empowerment, that and you're the fire, people will listen to you. They don't listen when you're sitting in. I'm watching these little groups form and they're doing that, and I'm snapping and saying, no, that's not what we do. They didn't want to hear this ball of light. They didn't want to hear what I had to say, because that was against what they said when they said, you are praising, and they're praising me. I'm telling them how to praise me, and they're telling me how they praise me, and I'm saying, that's not how you praise me. And they're saying, he must die. I'm like, kill me. They'd come at me. I just sat there. I'm like, are you done? Are you done? And they'd come at me. I would just take my hand, fire, boo, boo, boo. I'd kill. Not when I'm trying to. So I'm like, okay. I knew enough people would see it and hopefully it'd stop, and they do. So I'm like, this is my teaching. I don't sit, I dance, I move. I said, I don't sit and do this to myself. This is me who you're praying to. They said, who are you? Who are you? I said, I'm Shiva. Who do you? They're like, you cannot be Shiva. Shiva would never act like that. You don't know how I'd act. I said, let me show you how I act. Didn't Jesus come forth to say, this is Jesus acts? That's what they did to me. Exactly what they did to me, right? Be myself, be this wild mother. I'm gonna be crazy, and that's what I'm going to do. And that's what I did. I wasn't going to humble down to these people. And I might say that that's not Shiva. That's not Shiva. I said Shiva's fired. There's beautiful lady Parvati that immediately got it. The woman gets it, not a shock. She seemed more intelligent than any of them. So when I booming fire at people, because I'm doing that for a long time, it seemed, and she goes, whoa, 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 whoa. Shipping him. So she said, we dance. I'm moving her hips. And she said, this is what we do. And I'm respecting this because one, she's gorgeous. And I'm like, wow. She's not afraid of me at all. She's in my face. And she said, you stop killing these people. Stand. I said, I must kill him. And she said, you are just creating a chaos mess and teaching what we are trying to prevent. So we have enough war. We're teaching peace. He said, our Shiva does not do that. If you're Shiva, stop it. Like, wow, stepping up here in the world. I'm going to have to kill you. But she made a point. This is not what they would sell. I had to learn. Calm down a bit. Don't calm down. I dance. I move. I like that. I don't sit. I'm a ball of energy. Can you just tell right now? I don't want to sit. I want to just.
Yeah.
So, she sat beside me. She said, obviously, you need somebody to calm you down. And I said, obviously, I don't need that. She says, no, you do need that. She said, you need feminine energy. You are all male. You're all aggression. And you need what I have. And I thought she's talking about. And I said, no. And she says, that's not what I'm talking about. She said, you need this energy. And so she started like petting my arm. And I'm like, whoa, no. I got to her. And she goes, no, stop. She did that to me again. And she said, just close your eyes and stop moving for 5 seconds. So I did. It took me a bit because I don't stop. But eventually I did. And I felt this feeling. He said, even Shiva needs to understand stuff and be taught stuff, correct? I'm like, well said. Well said. Well, happy that I'm coming down and being kind of with a woman, but she understood. Then I hear something. I hear a voice, and I hear this voice said, that's your counterpart. I go, counterpart? I have no counterpart. This is me. That's your counterpart. I said, you're yin to your yang. I go, I don't need no yang. I'm good by myself. I don't need that. They said, no, they will never hear you if you're just here. You have to have what she's got. And I said, what, the boobs? I don't need the boobs. I go, no. Talk vibration. And so she heard the voice. And again, and again, repetition. But she needed the male part because she was just too feminine. So it was like, and we started, but when we put our hands together, the energy started bonding together. So Parvati became a part of me. Is what happened is I sat there and we started touching, and the people watched as her energy just formed in me. And they would see, so I would talk, but they would see her. And so that is where when you see me together with my Parvati, that is where that happened. She was very stubborn and she stayed right with me. And she became my counterpart from that forth. So other lives, Parvati would be separate in me. She had died for me. By that point, I was still how I am. But she would sit, and one time she was teaching, not my teachings. We me, you're going to teach what I teach or you don't teach. Well, she went off and was teaching other things she thought I was teaching. So to punish her, to show her that you do not take my information and distort my information, I went to a meditation and I sat. So she comes back wanting to talk to me, and I'm not talking to her as I'm deep in meditation, and she knows not to wake me up. So she sat there and she sat there and she sat there. She ended up dying in that life. In that particular illusion, she died because I wasn't waking up. So she comes back as a baby, as a little girl. So she knows to come to the spot. So she sat there most of her life, growing up with me just sitting there. And she would hear, and she'd just feel a push and she'd knock on her ass. So for several lifetimes, I wasn't coming forth. She understood she pissed me off. Yeah. So one life she comes forth and she bows to me with a lotus flower. She says, great respects to the great Shiva. I have disrespected you and I apologize. And she says, now I know I disrespected you by not going by your teachings. I offer you this lotus flower as peace. And I apologize most humbly, and I will keep to your teachings. And in return, would you please wake up to teach the world your knowledge? It's not about me. She said, I will go in your sleep so you can teach, because it's not about me. It's about you teaching. That's what I needed to hear from her. That's what I needed for her to realize what she did to wake up. I was harsh on her to wake her up, because you can't be teaching. You can't take like a most devotional word and add your own input. That doesn't teach people nothing. And I'm not going to have my word disrespected. Yeah. So she learned. But from that point, she stayed right beside me. Every life she taught. And I loved her unconditionally, because she would learn through me. I was like the older father, everything to her. She would teach with me. I'd make love to her. It was passionate love. It was not love like whatever. It was, can't describe. And she would be in my arms forever. She told me, she said, a different time. And because by that point, we were in a paradise state and observing these realms. She said to me, she says, husband, I love you, my priest, but these people need something more. I go, no, they're good. They're good. Says, no, they're not good. It was like a part of me was going to be ripped apart, because I knew what she was asking me. She's asking me, I need to come down to this realm and I need to work, but that means you need to come down too. I no longer wanted a part of this. I was done. I had what I wanted. I went and exceeded. Krishna and Radha I'm like, they're here. I don't need to be here. She says, no, we need to be here. They need us. They need us. And she was showing me the wars and the hate and all of the crimes and all the multiverses, all the witch hunts, and in the name of God, in the name of Jesus, and the name of this and the name of that. I'm seeing people getting shot. I'm seeing all of this hate. And saying my name, which was making me worse mad, was saying my name and things I was not even saying nor teaching, taking my words and disrespecting my words that I was not saying, doing what she did a long time ago. I said, okay, it's what we need to do. I still call her Radha, Parvati. It does not matter. It's the same. I call her Radha, I call her Parvati. I've called her so many different names throughout. I said, hon, you do. I said, priestess, you do what you got to do. And I will always follow my priestess. I said, I will protect. But the only way I can protect is I go into deep meditation to protect her. That's how I protect her. I sent Loki down because he would have been the strongest. He'd have had all my foolish intentions. Markus would have had all my foolish intentions. Loki would have had all my foolish intentions. All the parts of myself that I thought were all healed in me were not healed in me. And parts of her that was not healed in Radha and Parvati that was not healed was going to come out and heal how it had to heal to be a part and intricate. So while we were healing, we were teaching everybody. She and me are in a deep. She is here more than I am here. I am here, she is here. That makes sense. We're in a different, I protect her with here, and for her to be here more in this realm and more the feminine, because feminine is more needed than the male, aggression. It is more feminine, needs to be more here. She's more lower than I am, which means I don't see her. So she is in a state of meditation as I'm in a state of meditation. You sit beside me. In actuality, you're sitting beside an astral part of me. I couldn't bear to see you, any part of her. I can't, because it would, I couldn't, I would just bring her back up. I couldn't, I can't. So you just get to an astral part of me. You can never be that.
Huh.
She is away from me. And right now, you ask her, what are you that you do this? I'm in a closed energy bubble away, so I can see you, I can feel you, but I'm separating and detaching from you for a reason. Not that I don't love my priestess, I cannot handle the pain of the heart. So love that's so deep. I want my priestess with me. She will not, she is determined that the feminine energy needs to be, oh, I don't know what that was. The world needs the feminine energy, not the masculine aggression. The world is portraying how I was. I don't know what is happening. All right, I'm not ready to whatever. Trying to get back here, but I'm in a bubble, and I just can't see my priestess. Okay, I can talk, I can feel, but the pain is real. The world needs that feminine. I am here describing what it is about why she's my priestess. She is my priestess because she's a part of me, quite literally. She was the one who put me in my place. When I came down and I knew it all, she put me in my place. She was the only person. There was all of the men standing there. She was the one woman. She was the one woman that stood her ground with me and said, all right, please move this out, because they're going to, whoever this is going to keep. All right, I don't want to throw it. She won't let me throw it.
Yeah, you can't throw it.
Won't let me throw.
No, you shouldn't throw it. It's cute.
I hear Michelle saying, please don't throw that object. Yep. I need that object. So I put it in there.
Thank you.
All right. But she was the one lady that stood for me and stand her ground with me. She would teach me. Not ready to. I don't know what. It's Dylan trying to keep calling her over and over and over, and I don't know what it is he's trying to get a hold of her over. All right. Trying to connect back here.
Sorry.
This is Michelle. Can I go see what he needs real fast?
Yes.
Because he keeps calling and calling and calling.
Yeah, that's fine.
Hold on.
All right. That's the damn with you to be a deity visiting a human body, right? When technology's going off and you don't know what anything is. Oh, it's a sight to see. I love that he wanted to throw the phone. I'm glad he didn't.
Right. It's Michelle. I'm back. Dylan can go home. That's why he keeps calling and calling. So I just told Laura. So,
All right.
So Laura's in there complaining now. So now see she's going. Let me bring him back.
All right. Oh,
Back. I'm back.
thank you.
She had to take care of. All right, Laura, I'm in the middle right here. Roll your eyes. Don't roll your eyes. Whatever that means, do. That's fine. Whatever that means. I'm in the middle of a live. Now, yes. They disrespect her so bad over here. They disrespect my priestess over here. I don't like that.
Yeah.
No, we'll talk about that later. Sorry. Just tell her what's happening. Maybe the divine ones you just see that I don't handle things very good at all. I don't handle things. I'm trying to give a lesson here about my being my priestess here. And maybe it's all divine. It's all your divine always saying, you know. Yeah. But the world just needs more feminine. There's too much male. My priestess is my world. I will do anything. When she said, I need to help these people, we're helping. I listened because she did put me to, that day when she stood against me, I listened because she knows, she's going to know sometimes more than me what is needed. And not that I like it or nor enjoy it, I will do it for her. And we have a part of me, the Sanguru, everybody knows who he is. Part of it's not just here. Now I got different parts of me. This is the part he contacts is not this. The part he contacts is a whole other Shiva, not me. This is like Parvati Shiva. This is Parvati Shiva. This is not Sanguru Shiva. Different. Still loving, still teaching, but he's more the wisdom. This is more of the aggression or the fire, the chaos. You see what happens in that. And I can hear Michelle saying, you need to calm down a bit. Come on, we need to calm down. And I'm saying, priestess, and I'm in the middle of something not happening, disrespecting. I get that as disrespect. Yeah. So you guys, everybody got to see. So if people are watching this later, I'm not being disrespectful. It's just, I'm trying to do something. And she set boundaries. They don't understand. Okay. Yeah. So I apologize to everybody watching, but I am very temperamental, as you have seen. But Sanguru has all other me, and I am here like that. But that is how I have met Parvati. She just stood her ground. Basically, she had balls to stand against me, other men. And mind you, there's thousands of men looking at me with fear in their eyes, and she was saying and dictating alongside me before we merged. Yeah. They were listening to her to get my attention, and it took a higher part for me to say, she's your counterpart. Yeah. She's the flame that makes me go. But she's also my water, the waterfall that makes me calm. But I'm the flame that gets her to go when she doesn't want to go. But we are like the flame in the water. But she grounds me. She's what keeps me going. She's my air. She's my, my breath of fresh air. She's everything to me. She's all the elements. I will do anything for her. As a matter of fact, I will say what I have done. When your daughter was sick, I was there. And she flatlined. I was the one that came forth and told my priestess, it is all okay. When Scott, I said, it's all okay. When you were with your ex-husband and you were asking for a solution, I showed you, Scott. I showed you, I said, you got this. Where are you at now? And I said, you're going to have a happier time. When you got Lyme disease, I said, because you need to rest. Destiny. You're going through your tough time, my priestess. So let me listen to my Radha, my Parvati here. Now listen to me. Remember your balls. Remember that you stood against me, an all-powerful being that just shows up on a mountaintop where you all are praising, and you stood to me and said, stop it. Bloodshed. We need you to stop. And nobody can tell you your worth. You need to understand that. All the things that are leaving her life need to leave her life. She's going to have something very beautiful, and it's going to be a Shiva energy. You've got Shiva energy. She's going to have Shiva energy. So believe that, at. You're going to have that. So no matter where you're at now, I come to you all the time and I say, you've got it. You've got it. Okay? I'm never leaving you. Same with her. The Tony Robbins event. At her divorce, all of it was me. That was me. When she let go Saturday and she wailed and she wailed, she saw me and she said, thank you so much. Thank you. And I said, I will do anything for my priestess because I know her aspects are hurt and they need healed, because to heal the world, she needs to know the pain to heal. Because she doesn't know the pain of the world, she can't heal the world, because everybody's pain, everybody's suffering. But to understand the suffering, you've got to suffer too. I gone through all that suffering. I didn't want to do that. I feel all the anger. I'm disrespected. And I all one, but for you to teach, you got to suffer, because then you know what love feels like when it hits your heart. And I woke up finally. She knew what love meant. She knew what it meant.
Your audio is cutting out. I think as you get louder, it can't be heard.
All right. No, it's not a problem. I will lower. Can you hear me? If it happens, I will lower.
Okay.
All right. I apologize.
It's all right.
All I was saying was, when the world is just in hate, I feel disrespected because of all the teaching. When she is suffering, she has to learn all the life. When I fell asleep for 1,000 years or more, because she suffered. And I woke up, she knew the suffering ended, because I wanted her to know what love felt like. What did love really feel? And that is what I mean. For humans to understand truly how to help other humans, you must suffer to help another, because you can't be in their shoes if you truly don't walk in their shoes.
Yeah.
You truly have to. So I apologize for, I hope the information that I was saying was hard. If it was not, I apologize. But the world, I get really heartbroken on the world when I see it. When I was in my paradise state with her, the world was fine, but I guess it was not ever fine. Yeah. I was choosing not to see, because I was just happy where I was in my bliss. Yeah. But I come back, and Krishna was in his bliss, and as you can tell, now he's back. Yeah. So I hope that answered questions. I am way out. I don't know if nobody got the feels or they just got on guard with me, but
no, I got feels, man. I got feels for sure. For sure.
Well, I'm glad. I get emotional over this world. I want love. This Tony Robbins, he teaches love, and he teaches it in a way that people need to hear. Yeah. And the way, and he's passionate the way I would teach. He's passionate.
Yeah.
And his sage is Parvati. It is beautiful, and that is the type of love you have with Scott, and that is the love that Destiny is going to get. And that's the love that Michelle will have as well. So Destiny, that is coming your direction. And if you don't, and I know you know who Tony Robbins is, but watch some stuff with him and Sage. That is your future. Use what you will have, because Tony Robbins is basically my energy. He's basically this. He's a ball of fire.
He is a ball of fire.
He jumps up and down. Michelle said, if there is not a Shiva, and I'm like, hello, I'm home. Yeah. But here's how his wife is very calm. That is Parvati. That's a perfect example of us.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Destiny said, thank you, Shiva. I want the same, and I will spread the fuck out of that good stuff.
You spread the fuck out of that good stuff. You did. And all is going to be well.
And she said, yes, that's my plan. OMG. Yes. Thank you for that confirmation. Perfect. Perfect. Thank you, Shiva. Absolutely. It was beautiful in a different kind of way. And I love that you are you and you brought you to us as a remembrance of what God really is, what your energy really is, that chaos is not destruction. It's getting rid of what's in the way of your new creations.
That's yes, absolutely. I will come back more, less screaming.
Right. Y'all scream. They all scream. It's all right.
But I will come back because I actually did very enjoy this.
Yay.
So I will come back for my priestess because I can at least be in some interaction with my priestess. So I do enjoy that.
I'm glad. And Destiny said she appreciates how real that was. No fluffy stuff.
Well, she would understand my no fluffy. She knows it. She knows all about that. And who she's going to have is she's going to be a very beautiful relationship as you and Scott. So Angie, this is now, please, my priestess, will you hear me? This is what you're going to do for my other priestesses.
Okay.
You are going to describe something wonderful you and Scott do. Okay. Some kind of wonderful, whatever you guys do, like whatever date night looks for you guys, whatever fun thing you guys do, playful thing, you're going to describe that for them too. So they understand that is coming their direction too. So they know like the Shiva.
Perfect. Well, one thing that we do every night that we enjoy is we go hang out in the bathroom and we hang out with our rat. So we just talk about stuff. We talk about our day. We tease each other. We're playing with our rat. We look at our phones. It's just we just hang out and enjoy each other's company and enjoy ourselves and enjoy the rat. And we kind of do that with everything. We appreciate what we've got. We go to walk on walks together. We go walk to the river together, and sometimes he'll skip rocks and I sink them. We just, it flows. And if I'm lacking something, he's got it. And it's not, I don't know, he's not always listening, but he's attempting to listen sometimes. And I think that's what you can expect too, because I think some of the things we say is so crazy for people that they don't get it. He at least shuts it down and lets it come in until he can feel it. I don't know. I think that's going for you too. And Destiny said, ugh, this is triggering questions I need to not worry about the answers to. I love it all. I love.
Well, while I'm here, does she have questions? She may please ask these questions while I am here. I don't mind answering if that's up to my other priestess here. If she does, I do not mind answering questions. If she's got them.
If you've got questions, let's ask.
Yeah. If she can answer about herself and her life, I am here. I'm fine with that.
Perfect.
While I am here, because it's hard for me to come down here. So while I am here, I would like to go ahead and answer her questions.
Perfect. Destiny, if you've got something, let me know. I'm going to take a drink of water real quick.
Okay, so while we're waiting for Destiny to do that, my other priestess, this is what I want anybody watching this, including you, including Destiny, including when she watches my wife. Now, I'm not going to do it here because, I want you all to stand up. Now, actually, I will. I'm going to stand. I'm not going to scream because I don't,
You'll lose it.
I'm not quite sure how much you're going to see of her.
Okay. Should I stand up?
You stand up. All right. I'm going to move her chair. So I want you, when you are disempowered.
Okay.
Now I'm going to first scream. If I break the audio, that's okay. We're going to break the audio.
Yeah.
But when you are trying to get into state, you can't sit there and just sit there and do this. You cannot. You can sometimes. You know what she learned? The 4 days. I'll teach this to you because I liked it. I count like this. I love it, and I'm going to teach it. It's your empowerment. You just feel it. Just, yeah. I got this. Are you fearless? Yeah. Got this. Yes.
Yes.
Yes. handled that perfectly. And you feel like at me, this person's coming at me. I have it. I'm fearless.
You got too loud again.
Okay. Figure. When you walk out, I guarantee you're going to have a much different state. Now make a decision based on this state.
Yeah.
And then when you're doing that, you're telling yourself, hey, and then you're going to do this as you, because you got yourself in this like that, right? Now you're going to take, that's it. We're going to make, because I feel, and she can use this. Did you? And you need to forgive them. Take a memory and you set them in front of you. You look at them. And you think of the good qualities. Person, and they're here to teach you a lesson. And you would take all the grateful moments that they have given you and remember a lesson too. And you just close your eyes. I forgive you and I release this. We're all brothers and sisters. And take this love and gratefulness into your heart. Forgive you and I forgive you. Into the light, out of the darkness and into the light. We are all one. And then take a wonderful memory, put it into your heart of them, be grateful. What other thing did they teach me? Because if it wasn't for them, I would not be the person I am today. If it wasn't for them, I'm not the person, I'm not the man or woman I would have been today. Make your worst day your best day. Know Angie, your worst day would have been when your daughter flatlined. But it taught you to be the woman you are today. You are the mom you are today because the worst day of your life. Destiny, the worst day of your life. You're going through a divorce and that's just going to be you make this your best time. Make it your best day. Thank him for everything. He made you who you are. He's a beautiful counterpart. So of him, there. You've got something very beautiful as a reminder to make your worst day your best day. Make it. And then forgive. And then the more you put the grateful, your state, you put that, and then you put that love back in your heart and be grateful because your mind will delete and try to, because the human mind cannot keep memories. So you have to remember these grateful moments. And when you do, you start lightening up on this person and then you'll start seeing the light and love again as you should. Yeah. That is my suggestion for anybody watching this.
Perfect. Destiny said she's having anxiety about a question, but she's listening, and that she did the thing and let out a loud noise and moved her body like she was actually making contact and felt badass.
Tell her now, then priestess, you keep doing that. Keep doing that. You're feeling powered. Ask your question that's giving you anxiety, please.
She said, yes, I love and appreciate him so very much. I have no regrets of the time we were together, and I'm so appreciative of him still being supportive of my growth and there for the kids. I'm lucky as hell. Perfect. I love that.
Perfect.
I was hoping that he would keep his kindness during the situation because he seemed like a hell of a guy.
He actually he is going. Yeah, he will, and he is, and she knows that. I want her to know that no matter what is happening, that she is backed up by her priest. The reason, and it's not coincidence that all of us have come forth to talk about how we're here for the priestess, because all of the priestesses need to hear this.
Yes.
All of the priestesses need to hear this. And there's other people out there that need to hear that they've got a priest, whoever loves them the most, like your mom and dad. Your dad would be your mom's priest. He loves her unconditionally.
Yeah.
And it is a priest and priestess, so absolutely. And that's what we're teaching. But I want my priestesses to know the priest has her trust. We love you. We're not going to let you fall. We'll never let you fall. Never. You've heard all of us say how we will not.
So Destiny says the connection with Jason is always the question all the time.
Okay, well, can I tell you, and I'm going to get brutal here, Priestess. You don't love yourself. You believe you're not worthy, and you've decided you're not worthy. And when you put that energy out, he can't find you worthy either, and he can't find you loving if you feel you're not worthy of him. You know within a minute your heart, you are worthy of him. You love you and believe that with all your heart. You don't feel you're loved. You feel so unlovable, and he can't love somebody that feels unlovable. But he wants a connection with her. He does.
She said, but I love me.
Okay, but if you loved you, then he would look at you and he would know that there's part of you that doesn't love you. It's called spiritual bypassing. You're saying you love you, but there's part of you that is not loving you. And you need to go deep down and find who is not loving you. Why do you not feel worthy? Where did this happen? I feel in your childhood, you had an adult male disrespect you, my priestess, and you need to heal that because that is not yet healed. Not yet healed. Until you release that block, he can love you. Then you don't feel worthy because you stack that on you. I'm not worthy of this. Talk to you. Then you go, he can do better than me because I'm not worth that at all. He should be better off. And you're giving him this energy. So then he does what you're saying. He's better off being away. He's only replying to what your energy you're giving him, priestess. And he does really, really, he has feelings for you that is so high vibration. And you know he's got that Shiva energy, but you have to allow it. You got to know to receive it. You say all the right things, but you don't believe it. You have to believe it with all your heart. I know you love you, but you love yourself conditionally, not unconditionally. There's a big difference.
And she says, ugh, I want to heal it, so I'm missing something.
Okay, well, I'll tell you what, we will help her. Angie, why don't we do a 3 with helping her out, and I will come forth and help her get on a separate Zoom call.
Okay.
Whenever you all 3 have time, I will come forth again and I will help her and tell her. So priestess, don't worry about that. I will help you. I will help you. And we'll do it separately, and we'll take as long as we need to help you heal whatever, and I'll give you the tools there to help heal you. Nobody, she won't have to put her dirty laundry on here. I can help her heal. And that's why I'm being I'm not going. I understand privacy and boundaries, and that's what I am doing. But here I can help her out more.
She said this took an emotional turn. It's all right. Well, it's all good.
I'm trying to help her. I want her to have the very best. I want her to realize until she gets over these things, he is, but it's not impossible. She can do it. Yeah. Destiny, you stood against me and you said, stop your blood. Shiva, stop it. Now, if you can do that to me, you can do anything. You had no fear to me. You remember, this is what Michelle learned. And I want you to say this. I am the voice. Now, I am the voice. My mind does not control me. I am the voice. When your mind creeps up these thoughts, Destiny, this is a quick thing I can teach you. You tell yourself the voice. When you go into state, I am the voice. You will cry. And you could release a lot of that before we talk.
Yeah.
And you tell yourself, I am lovable. I am lovable. I am love. You have to believe it with all your heart. I am worthy. I am this. I am not a broken person. You are not broken. Light isn't broken. Light is never. There might be a cloud. There might be a cloud on your light, but it can be removed. And it can be. That's all it needs. And I'm here to help her. I'm here to help anybody that asks for that. But my priestess, I will always give 110% to my priestess. I don't want her to feel whatever this ugh feels, but I imagine it's not good. I don't want her to feel that. I want her to imagine every time you feel this, Destiny, you're standing in front of me and I'll show it to you. You close your eyes and you say, I want to see the moment where I told Shiva to go fuck himself. And you say that and you'll see it and it'll give you balls upon balls because you showed no You showed me no fear.
Yeah.
So remember that. And I want you to go in that state. I want you to release. I want you to cry. But Michelle has a method for you that will help you. And it helped her. It'll help you. And it'll get rid of the rest of this garbage that you are holding on to, my priestess, that you do not need. And Angie will do it for you too. The stuff you don't no longer need. I want to help both of you get to a better state.
So Destiny, if there's a time this week that works for you, let us know. And we'll Zoom about it.
Yes, please, Destiny. I want you to leave this empowered. Please leave this empowered. Don't take anything to heart. When I say this stuff to you, it is making you feel down because you know I'm right. You know that I'm right, and you don't want to hear it. Your pride don't want to hear that. Your pride so that's part of the issue. Pride is one of the ones, Angie, that's a sin. Pride, you got too much at. You got to let go of that.
Yeah.
And I want your love to outshine that pride. You see my pride? Let's drop some of that. We can't be so prideful. Michelle's very prideful, but we have to stop some of these things.
Yeah.
And I want her to be in a state of love all the time. I want her to whatever. But Michelle's been saying now, when she gets in a bad mood, Tony says you find a different mechanism, and she'll say, "What would Jesus do?" And she'll imagine Jesus saying and being calm in a situation. She'll imagine that. It's easier for her to connect to whatever would help Destiny. Where is your go-to grace moment? Your love moment? Is it your boys? What is going to help you get and make it 90 seconds that you, and like right now, I want her to just, it's a 90-second thing, get out of it. What is something you can be grateful for right now? Well, I'm sitting here right here, knowing I can get rid of my garbage. I'm grateful for this. I am grateful that I met my soul sisters over here. I met Shiva, Krishna, Loki. I know I got, Raku. I know I got this love here. I got my boys. I got Chris, and name the people you love and be grateful. Think of all these grateful moments. And that's going to, because hate and fear and love cannot coexist. When you start being grateful and you forgive yourself, and when you do something good, and it's another thing, Destiny and Angie, I want you to do this. When you do something good, like Destiny and Angie, do this right now with me. You ready? Good job. Thanks for showing up. Thanks for showing up. Thank you, Angie. Say, Destiny, when you say thank you, Destiny, for showing up. Angie, when you go, thank you, Angie, for showing up. And then Michelle, when you're watching this, thank yourself for showing up.
Yep.
And thank yourself. Every time you do something good, thank yourself, because it's like a child, and you get so excited. All in your mind will want to keep doing thank you. Okay, I want to keep responding that way. So do these things, and it will help you. But Destiny, I will help you. I will come back, and I will help you.
She said she says in high places.
Yeah, well, we have her, we love her, and and Loki said to Tivia a message, did you think he was bad? He said, now you just met my highest form. I don't know what that means, but I don't know what that means. So he says now he should make sense now to everybody.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
I don't know what that means. I want to take that as maybe, I don't know about your reaction, Priestess. I can't tell why that's.
Oh, it's great. It's all good. It's all good.
Okay,
we all did good.
Hey, Michelle, you're seeing this.
Yeah.
All right. All right. I will bring Lokias. I will bring Shambo back. I will bring Shambo. You wondered he's Shambo.
Yeah, he's Shambo.
Shambo, he's the most calm part of me.
Yep, he's the Shambo, man. Freaking Shambo over here.
Oh, I love you, my priestess. Please don't cry. Just know everything I have for you is love and respect. And I want you to be healed, but to heal, you have to acknowledge. When you acknowledge, you can heal. And I want to help you acknowledge it and help heal you. I'm just going to remind you of this wisdom. It's all in you. All I'm doing is reminding you. I'm not healing you. I'm reminding you what you already have inside of you to wake it up. That is all. So I love both my priestesses. I love you too, Michelle. And I'm going to bring Shambo back.
Thank you so much.
This is Lokias, aka Shambo. Well, he's a ball of energy. You all thought Loki was bad. There we go. See, all appreciate Loki now.
It was perfect.
I know. But yes, I'm Shambo in case you had no clue.
Yep. Yep. Shambo.
Shambo. Yeah, Trevor said I was Shambo. He knew I was Shambo.
Destiny said she always misses Michelle so much during these.
Well, let me bring her back. Well, maybe we'll bring her back. I'm here. I was told to come forth.
Yep.
Yeah, me and Shiva will have to have a long kind of. Oh, thank you.
That's awesome.
More predominant than anything I got to say, so I'm fine with it. I just rewatch it and see. Then when I see the audio cut out, then I'm like, oh, one of them got loud.
Yeah, they all get loud. They all get loud, but
I gotta talk to Shiva about my phone because he was trying to pitch it, and I'm like, oh no, please, I'm gonna that phone, please.
Yeah,
phone.
It wasn't great. I was over here thinking that's not great.
Listen, because I'm gonna rewatch it, but how are they? Because I'm feeling different emotions. I feel love, but then I feel this aggression of fire. Then I feel
Shiva is a lot Loki, like very Loki. You could just he's very fire and dancy, and I know it. And I guess Parvati really feminine up, helped him out. Destiny said, I bet that was so weird the first time watching yourself channel. So wild. That was wild. Shiva is wild. Yes, I would say Shiva is wild.
It is wild because all the things that come out of my mouth, it's amazing. Because I'm like, I didn't know that. I learned so much from the information. It is weird because the kids have said the very same thing. My kids I'll watch it. And Trevor goes, why are you rewatching it? I said, because I literally don't remember. We had a client, a different Marianne who we talked about her SD card. She was trying to tell me what was going on through the session. And I said, honey, I don't know what happened. I'm not there. Yeah. I'm physically not there. And that I said, I can feel the energies when I am out. But I said, I would tell her, I think you're a very nice lady because I don't know who you are. I mean, because I really don't know who she is. Right. They know who she is. I don't know who she is.
Yeah.
And that, but it is very, because I'm just sitting on a bench and I'm just kind of waiting for and I can observe, but the vibration gets, or I can't really hear it. And then I kind of go in my own little world and that, because if I really connected, I would fall apart because I love them so much. So I try to disconnect. Yeah. That's what happens. I disconnect from them just so they can do their message and they're not feeling this. So.
Yeah.
I'm not feeling it and they're not feeling it. So but it is very strange. Yes,
it is. I channeled Cosmo Sunday lifting water and stuff, and he missed smells. It sucks how sad he gets about missing his life, and like that's really his purpose of why he shows up to say anything is because he doesn't want someone else to do what he's gone through. He really wants to spare others that, and you feel it. And after you channel, you feel all these things and from them. You feel it inside you. It's part of you. It's different. It's wild.
When I got Tony Robbins on the process, I'm sure that they're gonna, because I feel that they're going. It's called the Dickens, and I'll teach you and Destiny, and then on the live I will have people, but I'll have Loki do it. I'm the one that's going to channel. They're going to do the Dickens. I'm not. But when he did that, every emotion, every pain, it came out. And when I did that, Cosmo released his. When he heard Tony wanted to kill himself, and he sympathized with people that have. He didn't say you're bad people. He never said that. He said the world needs to listen. He said there's so many people out there, and he said if you're just sitting on your ass not doing anything, he said shame on you. Shame on you. Go. He said that you just need to leave this. Do not. He said, we all come here to teach. We're all one. And it got Cosmo to a good, and I'm glad, and it was all destined for him to hear it. And now that he's over here, he when I wailed, Angie, he wailed. And I'm so happy for him. I miss him, but I'm glad he's evolved to the point he don't need that anymore. Yeah. The garbage is gone and he's here and he's light. But when he was over here, he did miss a lot of things. He missed, he misses children, like his children. He misses his kids. So he would hug my kids and he would just so try, and he would cry he misses his ex-women, he misses them, and he got me through my divorce, is he would remind me when he was through different divorces of his, he was three different divorces, he helped me through my one divorce. He helped me through it. So he was just he was a godsend. Yeah. But I let go of all of that. So he was like left, and he left. I thought, oh, he's never. And I didn't feel him anymore. And I'm like, okay. But then I'm happy because I know he's over where he needs to be. I never felt him here. He should have been over here all along. But some of the comments about Destiny were hilarious, and the visuals. I'm sorry, Destiny, if you could see some of the visuals he would give me, and I wouldn't say half of what he wanted to say, half of it. I would edit him as much as I could. He gets to the point it was hard for me to control him.
Yeah.
But he's going to be more happy over here. This is where he wants to be, is over here.
Crazy. Destiny said wild is the best way she can describe any of this usually, and that she thinks this stuff is amazing. And she laughed at the whole Cosmo thing and said, oh my word, yeah, you have no idea, and hopefully you won't find out, but I guess he's coming into your dreams to try to show you. So if you're interested, just go for it in your dream.
This is Loki. He has even took his clothes off and stood there doing little dances with his, he's trying to show that he can, and it's been making Raku very mad.
He's peacocking a little bit.
Well, he's peacocking a small little object. But
yes, he is.
He's not peacocking anything very,
It's nothing to write home about, but
she's been kicking him out because she says, I don't have time for this bullshit. So she knows that. So he's not peacocking.
Yeah, she says apparently Dream Me tells him to skedaddle. Yep. Yeah. Or Raku is there telling you to tell him to skedaddle.
Yeah, well, because Raku is not impressed with Cosmo dolls. He'll say, well, that's my priestess, and he'll go, no. I mean, he doesn't let me near her in dreams. Let alone is he going to let anywhere. Cosmo. I mean, come on.
It's a good time. All right. This went long. I think we're at like an hour and 40 minutes or something, maybe.
Oh.
Yeah, but it was great. I think it was great. I'm glad that we finally got I don't think we've ever channeled Krishna. I don't think we channeled Krishna or Shiva. So that was amazing. So we got two different vibrations, but yet you could feel Loki and Shiva, and you could feel Markus and Krishna, or at least I could. Like, you could definitely feel that was from the same energy. And you could also see the evolution of all of them being the same, just different aspects at different levels. I think it was all great.
Yeah, this is Michelle. That's because I was going to ask you, can you see, like with Krishna, can you see Markus?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, I can't wait for you to watch this because I think you're going to be blown away by it.
Yeah, and then Loki, I guess when with Shiva, you see Loki.
Yes, very much. Very much. Yeah, it was cool. I'm glad we did this. It was great. I couldn't be any happier with it. I think it was wonderful. And Destiny, let us know when you could get together for a Zoom, and we'll do that. And so I guess our next live is going to be Thursday, March 23rd. We'll come for like a 4:00, I think is what we're going to do. Yep. Yeah. And Destiny said, yeah, the energy definitely carried through. Appreciate y'all so much. That was amazing. It was. Michelle, you're going to have to watch it and let us know what you think.
Well, I'll do on the group messenger. I'll watch it and I'll tell you guys what I thought.
Perfect.
Well, let me bring, I guess, Markus forth, and then whatever, and I'll bring Markus because he's like staying right.
Yeah. He's ready.
She feels that energy. I kind of huff behind her. Well, we're like here like that. So I'm not really huffing as much as what I'm right.
Yeah.
And I like to just say immediately, my breasts look great because now that we're combined, she's got the nice penis and I've got great boobs.
There you go.
Yeah. I just really thought everybody should know that, just everything's more advanced.
Yeah.
Like that. We're like that. Great. So I'm hopping, it's more or less, she. Yeah.
Perfect.
So perfect. Well, I like to thank all the spirits that showed up, the good vibration, all of the teachers that showed up. I like to thank Krishna, Shiva, Loki, as always, Shambho. I just thank Destiny for being here. I like to thank Angie. I like to thank Michelle and her body for being here today. No laughing, but thank you, Michelle, because without you doing that and you setting apart, not doing that. Thank the great love, the great divine from which we all come from, that we are one, that the message today is going to hit everybody that hears it in the way they need to hear it. They're going to take the information, what they need, and whatever they don't need, they just won't take. But what they need, they will get something out of this, and they will spread that love, and whatever message they get from that, a good, loving vibration, they will give to somebody else. And then I really hope, and I thank everybody that joined us and all the ancestors, everybody that made this happen. And I like to just thank you. So be it. So it is.
Perfect.
I'm going to hand it over to my beautiful priestess over here. And so when I say priestess, now it all makes sense. Why do I say priestess?
Now it all makes sense.
Well, it's the end of my priestess, and then Destiny, my other priestess. So, and then Michelle, of course.
And it makes sense why we teach. And it makes sense why we teach their teachings. It all makes sense. So if you're ever like, hey, why do they channel these people and why do they teach their teachings? Well, now you know. Watch this episode.
Now it all makes sense to you and that. Although you notice Krishna's a little bit he was teaching, and you heard him immediately, and I was but I get a little bit like that to some degree, but he put okay, all right. Yeah, it was weird even hearing the higher part of myself, like
yeah, right. I see what yeah. We all had a trip on this one.
Well, we most definitely had a trip, but it was a beautiful trip, and now everybody knows. So from now on, I thank you, Priestess. Thank you, Destiny Priestess. Thank you, Michelle Priestess. And if Lauren was watching, thank you, Lauren Priestess.
Baby Lauren.
Baby Lauren. She's I was going to say baby Priestess. She froze over there, Angie. Okay, you're good. You froze a little bit.
Oh, all right. It happens. Oh, yep. It says my internet is unstable. So it's time for me to go. All right. We love y'all on Thursday. Destiny, give us a little hint of when you want to meet up and we'll zoom and we'll fix some shit. And it's wonderful. We'll see you on Thursday. We love y'all. Be nice, be kind.